Hi, this is a tutorial specifically for one of our forum people called VVBoy. That's his handle. And I just put a CMU block wall here corner, made a room with the interior walls. I just saw part of his plan, but I thought I'd talk about some of the dynamics of this sort of thing. And you can see I use a CMU here. Interior 4, interior 4, interior 4. I don't care about the floor covering. One of the things he was wondering is, like, he had a interior wall here, but it had CMU on it. There's a couple of ways that can happen. You can open the dialog box of a space and go to the Materials tab and tell the walls. And let's see, where's CMU? I was thinking this might be one of the ways you could end up with, in plan view, showing a sheetrock wall with the CMU on it. Now, where's CMU? Well, okay, that's it. Let me just get the name. Gray, okay. Now we'll go back to you have to know the name of the darn material. Okay, so it's gray with the G key. Gray. There it is. So if you set that in the dialog box, that's one way you could end up with the image you showed, where we have a sheetrock wall here with CMU on it. I'm not saying that's what you did, but I'm saying that would work. To undo it, you go to Plan Materials and then select Use Default, and then it'll revert to whatever the default is for that wall type. See? Okay. Another way is to open a single wall and go to the Materials tab, Interior, and we'll hit the G key, Gray blocks. And that material will then show on just this wall. Let me show you that it's not showing on all the walls because I didn't do it through the dialog box. It's kind of hard to see. Let me go to vector camera. There. You can see we've got drywall over here and only CMU over here where I told it to put it on there in that wall dialog box. Again, I'm going to select Next and go to the interior wall, Plan Material, and use Default to revert. So there's a number of ways you can get results. Now, let's look at this corner. In 3D, you can see that there's kind of a triangle, and that's just the way the software works. You know, for better or worse, that's the way it works. There's that same triangle right there. I think what Kat was talking, and also you see the sheetrock out here, and this wall here has no sheetrock on the outside, of course. If you wanted I'm not sure what you're doing here, but you wouldn't want to use an interior wall for the exterior if that's an exterior side. Got CMU here. That's where I was a little bit confused, because you wouldn't normally put an interior wall on the outside. And so that was a conundrum to me, exactly what you're doing. And I'm going to take this interior wall and these are just two interior walls. But you can see that you get that triangle effect because the outer layers don't match, and also this. See, it doesn't happen that way here, but it's a quirk of the software. You know, like it or not, Home Designer and Chief Architect Incorporated software does such a great job. I'm willing to put up with the little anomalies that it presents you with from time to time. If this is supposed to be an exterior wall, it probably, of course, I don't know exactly what you're doing, but I just wouldn't do it this way. If I had a choice, I would just draw over this wall. And then this would be my chase, you know. Click, let's see, let me click here on this wall, click there, 1 inch. And this would be a much cleaner way to do that if it was applicable to what you were doing. I just don't know. But normally you would have an exterior wall on the outside, and then the interior fur-out wall for like a plumbing chase would be in a framed wall. But, you know, I don't know precisely what you were doing. But I think this would be a better solution. Let me hit Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay. Now what Kat was talking about is a way to handle this in plan view. You go over to CAD tools and boxes and just draw a rectangular box over it. It's not a totally clean solution, but it's a solution. And we'll take that CAD box and give it a fill, which I think it's a crosshatch, no, angle crosshatch. And the line style for this wall type's gray, so we'll pick gray. I'm not going to get very exact about it. That's a way to handle it. It's not very, well, let's see, I need to also, let me open this wall type. I'll go to walls, wall types, define, and there's the fill style 4. Okay. So you just match the fill style, that's all. So this needs to be 4, and I need to match the color a little more closely. I think it's more like that dark gray. And you end up with a little line there. I guess you can further ameliorate that by going to the line style and making this line color like white. But that has its own problems. Now it looks maybe, see, we lost this line here. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do. If you want it perfect, you can make it apparently perfect. We'll go over here to the line tool and draw a line here, and then draw a line across here. That looks a little cleaner. And I guess you could take this line here and extend it, and that might clean it up a bit more. But if you want things to look perfect in plan view, you can make them that way by just what I'd call cheating. Or the old AutoCAD way, you just draw the lines and you draw a closed box and give it a fill. So that looks, you know, pretty good. But it's not knowing exactly what you want to do, and that's my, I probably sound like a broken record, but a lot of times people pose questions and it's hard to figure out exactly what they mean. And I'm missing a line there. When I zoomed out, I couldn't see the line. Oh, come on. Yeah, draw a line. And draw it. When I zoom back, it looked like that line. Yeah, okay, that looks better. Now, in terms of a custom wall type, you're limited in Pro a little bit, but I'll just run through that so you get the idea. We'll take, I'm just going to draw a straight wall here, and then open it and go over here to and change this wall type to some type of wall that I'm not using in this plan. Like if I'm not going to use any stucco 6 walls, I'll use this one. Now I'm going to click on define, and now I'm going to customize this wall type into a custom wall type. Like let's see, okay, I'm going to make it a CMU wall. Oops, CMU. Thank you. Now on the inside, I'm going to click down here on this graphic. See how the arrow jumped down here when I left clicked? I'm going to click on insert, and I'm going to put a 3.5 inch layer there. And if we want to make it look like the rest of our framed 4 inch walls, we'll give it a yellow fill. Yellow fill. Okay. And I don't know if you're going to have any space in here. If you're going to have an air gap or something like that, then you'd add a layer there. And then here, we'll click on insert. I'll make this 1/2 inch for sheetrock. Now here on this 3.5 inch, I lift out a step. So I don't want an insulation air gap. It would mess up my material list, wouldn't it? I'm going to go to plan material, and there it is, 16 inch on center first studs. And then this new layer, a 1/2 inch layer, this one here, left click here, which puts the arrow down here. And we'll go to plan material, hit the D key for drywall, and assign drywall to that. That's how you make a custom wall. And the space between the CMU and this frame wall, depending on how you're going to build, then you might want to put another layer in there. Whoops, I don't want it there. Let me get my arrow, insert. There we go. And the default is 2 inches, and that's fine. Whatever you want this air gap to be, then you could assign that just insulation air gap. And then click OK. There's your custom wall type. It also applied to this. Okay. Oh, I customized CMU. Okay. Let me hit Control Z. We'll do this again. Only this time, I'm going to do it like I started to do. I'm going to go to Stucco 6, which I'm not using in the plan. I'm laughing at myself. That's kind of funny. This layer will change to CMU. Oh yeah, it was gray, wasn't it? Gray block, something or other. Yeah. And make this and get rid of this fill style. We go to the. I think you should be able to begin to get the idea now. Change this so angle crosshatch 4. That's correct. Make that okay. That's dark gray. I don't remember what this thickness is. I think it's 8 inches. And I want to make this the main layer, the main structural layer, because it is the main structural layer. And so I'm going to move this radio button under the main layer and move it to the 8. This will become from 5 to 3. Change the fill style so it matches other 4-inch frame walls. And the material, that's fine. For a furred wall, 24 OC is probably about right. And I remember about the gap here. The gap is set to 0 in this wall. We'll set that to 2. So there's a little space, air space between the two. I mean, you need to have enough for this frame wall and your actual plumbing. And the thickness here is going to be determined by the thickness of the plumbing, I suppose. Now we got 3.5. We got sheetrock on the inside, I think. Yep. Okay. This would be a bit. This way. See, this way, existing walls don't get touched. That's the reason I used. And this is, to remind you, Stucco 6, which I have customized for my own purposes. And let me get rid of this. Get rid of that. We'll move this to the end. Snap it to the end. It's just another way to do it. And there's no perfect, quote-unquote, way to do things like this. See, like the way this, see, the main layer attaches to the main layer, and then you get that triangular effect. And we get a flat thing here. Well, you'd have to, if you wanted that to look perfect, well, then you'd have to put some 2D overlays over here. So if you require everything to look tiddly-boo and perfect, then you're going to have to make it tiddly-boo and perfect. The software does what it does wonderfully, but in terms of graphic standards, it's not perfect. And it's up to you to then clean up things up so that they look, quote, perfect, unquote. Okay. Hopefully this will be helpful to you and others. And when we're talking about custom wall types, that's what we're talking about. And we're talking about 2D overlays. That's what we're talking about, either lines or fill boxes. And that's how you get things to look good in both plan view and in camera views. Sometimes you have to think out of the box. Like this wall here would probably have sheetrock on the inside of it. Well, you'd have to create another custom wall type that shows CMU and then furring strips and then a drywall layer. Same way I made this one. You pick another wall that you're not using in the plan and customize it to emulate the wall that how you intend to build. So hopefully that helps you. I hope this is kind of clear as mud. And thanks for your attention. I enjoy shooting my mouth off, so you're welcome. Bye.